Hi students, very good evening. Welcome back to Sri Ramanuja Vidya Mandir. Students, today I am going to give the lecture regarding the life process. So, continuation of the previous lecture, students. We discussed about the nutrition, different types of nutrition we discussed, autotrophic and the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So, now we are discussing the autotrophic mode of nutrition. All the green plants performs the process of photosynthesis. Through this procedure, plants can able to synthesize their own food materials. So, they are having the capability of self-synthesizing the food. So, by what process, students? By photosynthesis. This photosynthesis is light dependent reaction. Okay, so light energy provides energy to initiate this photosynthesis reaction. Conversion of light energy into chemical energy. So, is going to take place in this procedure. Photosynthesis takes place in mainly 3 steps. Absorption of light energy by the chlorophyll pigment, conversion of light energy into chemical energy, and the splitting of the water molecule into the hydrogen and the oxygen. The third step is reduction of carbon dioxide by the hydrogen to form carbohydrates. Children, which part of the plant performs the process of photosynthesis? Leaf. Leaf performs the procedure of photosynthesis. Right. The cells which are present in the leaf having a special cell organelle called chloroplast. What is that? Chloroplast. The cells which are present in the leaf are called mesophyll cells. Mesophyll cells. Right. So, every cell is having different cell organelles like nucleus, mitochondria, ribosomes, cytoplasm, right? Endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, chloroplast. Presence of chloroplast is the unique feature of the plant cell. Okay. Now, student, this chloroplast is having the pigment name chlorophyll. What is the pigment name? Chlorophyll. So, this chlorophyll pigment appears in green in color. So, as it is green in color, so our leaf looks like green color. Right. Chlorophylls are the green pigments present in the leaves. If we observe the cross section of the leaf under the microscope, we can see the cells containing green dot-like structures called the chloroplast, which contain the chlorophyll. Now let us see the cross-section view of the leaf. See children, I'll explain you in the next slide. See, this is the cross-section view of the leaf. Upper one is called cuticle. See, this is cuticle. And next to this, we are having palisade parenchyma, spongy parenchyma, and right. Now I'll write with that. See, palisade parenchyma, and next to this we are having spongy parenchyma, and so here in the lower epidermis, so this is the lower epidermis. In the lower epidermis, we are having a special openings called stoma or stomata. So here we are having the guard cells. The kidney-shaped, bean-shaped cells are present in the lower epidermal layer of the leaf, that is stoma. This is the cross section view of the leaf. Right. See children, these are the cells present in the leaf. Now these cells is having the small green colored things. These are nothing but chloroplast. This chloroplast is having the pigment known as chlorophyll. What is the cell organelle? Chloroplast, and this is having the chlorophyll. Understand? Okay. Now let us study about the plant cell. See students, this is the plant cell. Okay. Plant cell. Center we are having the vacuole. So what is this? Vacuole. And nucleus is present at the peripheral portion of the cell. Because of the presence of this big vacuole at the center, this vacuole occupies majority place of the cell. Okay, that's the reason nucleus is located at the peripheral region of the cell. But in the case of animal cell, nucleus is present at the center. See, for example, this is the animal cell. Nucleus is supposed to be present at the center. But in the case of plant cell, it is just present towards the peripheral region of the cell. Understand? So, as it is reminding, like, so cell wall, plant cell is surrounded by the cell wall, that you know very well. This cell wall is made up of a special material known as cellulose. What is that? Cellulose. Cellulose is a polysaccharide. Okay. So this cellulose is nothing but it is polysaccharide, means it is having more and more number of sugar moieties. Polysaccharide. Next to the cell wall, cell membrane is present, vacuole, nucleus, cytoplasm, and here we have the chloroplast. What is this, students? Chloroplast. Chloroplast. Right. Now, this chloroplast is having the pigment known as chlorophyll. In the previous slide, we have seen the cross section of the leaf. Now, I am telling about the structure of the plant cell. Now, let us study about the chloroplast in detail. So, whatever we are discussing, like about the photosynthesis, this photosynthesis procedure is going to be happened in this cell organelle. What is this name? Chloroplast. Chloroplast. This chloroplast is discoid in shape. Discoid in shape. Generally, approximately nearly 100, more than 100 cells, more than 100 chloroplast cell organelles are present in the cell. Right. Now, this is the double membrane cell organelle. Means this chloroplast is surrounded by the two membranes, students. Two membranes. That's the reason this is the double membrane cell organelle. Double membrane cell organelle. Right? Okay. Now, the fluid-like matter which is present in the chloroplast is called stoma. Stoma. And in the stoma, small thylakoids are present. Okay. So, these are thylakoids. Thylakoids. Okay. Now, this entire thing is known as grana. See, a pile of thylakoids is present one upon the other. So, if we arrange the coins one upon the other, how it will be? Like this only. Grana thylakoids supposed to be present one upon the other. And see, each grana is linked with the stroma lamellae. See, these linked with the stroma, lamellae. Okay, see, this is the structure of chloroplast. This shape is discoid in shape, double membrane cell organelle. So, chloroplast is surrounded by the two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. Okay, the space present between the two membranes is known as intermembrane space. Intermembrane space. Okay, outer membrane and this one is inner membrane. This is about the internal structure of the chloroplast. Okay, very important. Now, photosynthesis is going to take place in the stroma as well as the grana. Okay, now, and one more important point. This photosynthesis reaction having two steps, light reaction and the dark reaction. Light and dark reaction means light reaction takes place in the grana, where see here in the grana light reaction takes place. The reason is that the enzymes which are necessary for this light reaction are present in the grana. And one more important point, chlorophyll pigment is just supposed to be present in the grana only. That's the reason light reaction takes place in the grana, and in the stroma dark reaction takes place. Okay, entire photosynthesis having two major phases, light reaction and the dark reaction. Now, let us talk about the light reaction first. This light reaction is also called as light dependent reaction, or other name is there, Hill reaction. This reaction occurs only in the presence of light. Okay, and here what will happen? Light energy is absorbed by the chlorophyll pigment. And here oxygen and ATP, NADPH is going to be produced. So what do you mean by ATP? Adenosine triphosphate, NADPH. So these NADPH, ATP are the assimilatory powers. So these are produced only during the light phase. Okay, and in the same phase only oxygen also released. You know the total reaction of the photosynthesis. So here I'll write, when carbon dioxide mixes with the water molecule in the presence of sunlight, so with the help of a special pigment known as chlorophyll pigment, it prepares glucose, right? And it liberates water and oxygen also produced. So this is the total reaction of the photosynthesis. Okay, when we'll talk about the light phase, during the light phase, oxygen is released, and next assimilatory powers such as ATP and NADPH are going to produce. ATP means, students, nicotinamide, adenine diphosphate. You should learn this. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. NADPH means nicotinamide adenine diphosphate. These two are assimilatory powers. These are produced during the light reaction. Okay. Now, So these things will be utilized during the light reaction, during the dark reaction. So now carbohydrates are synthesized. See students, this dark reaction is also known as Blackman's reaction. Blackman's reaction. The other names also you should remember students. Light reaction also called as Hill reaction, and this dark reaction is also called as Blackman's reaction. And so these reactions were first discovered by Mr. Kelvin, okay, and this Kelvin Benson. So we'll call this cycle as a Kelvin cycle. Okay, this is about light reaction and the dark reaction. Now let us discuss the events which are going to take place in the dark reaction. Acceptance of carbon dioxide by the carbon dioxide acceptor. Here the carbon dioxide acceptor is RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate. Okay, what is the meaning of the RUBP? Ribulose bisphosphate. Next, utilization of the ATP and the NADPH2. Third event, regeneration of the RUBP. RUBP is a 5-carbon compound. RUBP is a 5-carbon compound. Okay, so this is the total overall reaction of the photosynthesis students. 6 CO2 plus 12 NADPH2 and 18 ATP, glucose, 12 NADP, 18 ADP, here 6 glucose students, and 18 phosphate and the water molecules. This is the overall photosynthetic reaction. Next. So about the chlorophyll pigment already we discussed. This is the cross-sectional view of our photosynthesis. And one more important point, see children, so these are the stomatal openings, right? Through these openings only entry of the or exchange of the gases can take place. Means entry of the carbon dioxide and the exit of the oxygen is going to take place just through this stomata. Stomata open to allow carbon dioxide to enter the leaf and vapor and water vapors to leaf. Okay, so this is about the cross-sectional view of the leaf. Now let us talk about the stomata. Okay, stomata are the tiny pores present in the leaves through which exchange of the gases can take place. See children, this stomata has bean-shaped or kidney-shaped guard cells. Okay, guard cells which controls opening and the closing of the stomatal pore. At the center we are having the stomatal pore. When water enters the guard cell, it swells and pores opens. When the guard cells lose water, this shrinks and pores gets closed. Excuse me. See children, how we have the nose. Through this nose only we are going to inhale the oxygen. Again we are going to exhale the carbon dioxide for our human beings. In the same way, plants also having the stomatal pores. Through these pores only exchange of the gases can takes place. Right. See children, let us see the magnifying pictures of the stomata. Okay, very important students. So these are the kidney shape or bean shaped guard cells, and this guard cells having the nucleus. Okay, the center opening is called stoma. Okay, so and it is surrounded by the subsidial cells. So these are the subsidial cells. So entire aperture is nothing but stomatal aperture. Okay, this closing and opening of the guard cells so helps in the what entry of the oxygen into the leaf cells, in the same way exit of the carbon dioxide out of the leaf cell. So this is about the stomatal structure. Guard cells, chloroplast, epidermal cells. Next to this, see children, this is the chloroplast. At the center they are having the vascular bundles. Okay, vessels and the phloems are present in this region. Air spaces, stoma. You know children, this leaf is having the cross bundles, vascular bundles, right? Xylem is a water conductive tissue, whereas phloem is a food conductive tissue. Light reaction. Light energy is trapped by the chlorophyll in the chloroplast. Light energy absorbed by the chlorophyll splits water molecule into hydrogen and the oxygen. See, important, see here, light helps in the splitting of the water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, oxygen is released as the gas through the stoma to outside to what? Stomata. What just we discussed the structure of stomata, right? So through this only oxygen is going to come out of the plant. Hydrogen fed into the dark reaction. So hydrogen enters into the dark reaction. So this is the light reaction events. Now dark reaction, no light is required actually. So this dark reaction directly doesn't require the light, but here whatever things were synthesized during the light reaction, such as ATP and NADP, which these are known as assimilatory powers, right? Those assimilatory powers are utilized in the carbohydrate production. Okay, so can takes place either in the light or darkness. Hydrogen produced in the light reaction combines with the carbon dioxide to form carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is nothing but glucose, students. C6H12O6. Water is formed as a byproduct. These are the major events which takes place especially during the dark reaction or dark phase, you can say. And in the previous slide we discussed the light reaction. Okay. Now, so about the photosynthesis we discussed, students. And one more important point, photosynthesis is influenced or affected by the certain things. Okay, what are those? Carbohydrate concentration, and it also depends upon the sunlight. It also depends upon the sunlight and amount of the water available. And fourth one is carbon dioxide, sunlight, and the fourth one is temperature. All these factors affects the photosynthesis. So all these four things factors affects the photosynthesis, right? Okay, so amount of the carbon dioxide available, sunlight, water, temperature. Okay, so these are the things affects the photosynthesis. Now in the next phase we are going to learn about certain experiments, okay, activities to show the carbon dioxide whether necessary for the photosynthesis or not in detail. Okay, here we have to take two potted plants of the same size and keep them in the dark room for 3 days. So first of all, so whether carbon dioxide necessary for the photosynthesis or not, we have to test. So for this, what we are taking two potted plants. Okay, so what you have to do of the same size actually. So we have to keep the plants in the dark room Okay, so then keep the plants on the separate glass plates. Keep a watch glass containing some potassium hydroxide near the one of the plant to absorb the carbon dioxide. Cover both the plants with the bell jar and seal the bottom of the jar with the Vaseline to make airtight. So why we have to make it airtight means we should we should stop the entry of the external air. Okay, next, and keep the plants in the sunlight for 3 hours. Then take a leaf from each plant and test it for the starch. The leaf of the plant kept in the jar containing potassium hydroxide does not show the presence of starch. This shows the carbon dioxide necessary for the photosynthesis. So when we'll test the leaf for iodine test, so when we'll pour the iodine solution on the leaf surface, if it turns into blue color, so it indicates, if it turns into blue color means it indicates the presence of starch. If doesn't turns into blue color means it indicates the absence of the starch. So if starch is present means, students, so we can easily guess that photosynthesis took place. Okay, this is about the activity to show the carbon dioxide is whether the carbon is necessary for the photosynthesis. Okay, and next, students, activity to show the chlorophyll is necessary for the photosynthesis. Here in the previous we did the experiment for whether carbon dioxide is necessary for the photosynthesis or not. Now here whether chlorophyll is necessary for the photosynthesis. Again we have to take 2 potted plants having the variegated leaves. Means, so let us take the example of croton plant. Keep it a dark room for 3 more days so that all the starch is used up. So why you are keeping it that in the dark room means, so it should free off the starch. Then keep it in the sunlight for 6 hours. Then take a leaf from the plant and mark the green areas of the leaf on the sheet of the paper. So then dip the leaf in the boiling water to make it soft. Then dip the leaf in the alcohol and heat it in a water bath to decolorize. It removes the chlorophyll. Then wash the leaf in water and dip it in the dilute iodine solution. It will be seen that only green part of the leaf turns to the blue color, so that blue or black color. This shows the chlorophyll is necessary for the photosynthesis. So variegated means, so we can so patches will be. Okay, only the green part of the plant turns into the blue color. So which shows that chlorophyll is necessary for the photosynthesis. So these 2 are the experiments, students, very important. And in the next lesson we are going to discuss about the holozoic mode of nutrition. So far we discussed autotrophic mode of nutrition. See, in the next, heterotrophic mode of nutrition means, students, in the heterotrophic mode of nutrition we discussed about the saprotrophs. Okay, means all the fungi. Okay, so sapro means rotten, right? So here some bacteria, fungi, they used to survive on the dead and decaying matter. Okay, they'll be collecting the nutrients from type of nutrition is called saprotrophs or saprotrophic mode of nutrition. Next, parasitic mode of nutrition. Here the organism lives in the body of the other organism. So this organism is known as parasite, and the organism which is giving the shelter to this is known as host. Okay, so this type of association is called parasitism. And next we discussed about the holozoic mode of nutrition. In the holozoic mode of nutrition, students, organism eats the food material, digests it, absorption, then assimilation. Holozoic means eating, digestion, absorption, and finally assimilation. So about holozoic mode of nutrition we'll discuss in the next class. Okay, so here photosynthesis completed, students. Okay, let us continue the same in the next class. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.